Hello, everyone. Welcome to Morning English. This is Colin.
Hello, everybody. This is Summer. 欢迎大家收听早安英文。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
Hey Colin, what have you been reading lately?
Oh, well, I've been reading an article about how to become a more effective learner.
But you're not a student. Why are you worried about that?
I'm not worried about it. I just find it interesting. Besides, you should never stop learning, student or not.
Yeah, right. To be a lifelong learner. 大家都要做一个终生学习者，对吧？
Yeah, I like learning, and if I can do it more effectively, so much the better.
So much the better. That's an interesting phrase.
Yeah, I guess it sounds a little strange, huh? It means a particular action or situation would be even more successful if done a certain way.
So much the better. 其实就是想说越来越好，那就更好了这种意思。Okay, so have you learned anything about learning?
Well, actually I have, yeah.
Why don't you share it with us?
Well, what if I want to keep it to myself and not share it at all?
Colin!
Okay, we can talk about it.
Good. 所以我们今天就和大家一起来聊聊学习这个话题啊，让大家学习呢更有效率。Okay, so what did you learn?
Well, you know, when I was a student, I used to have a lot of cram sessions.
Cram sessions?
Yeah, you know, the regular verb cram means to force a lot of things into a small space. We also use this with studying, to try and learn a lot very quickly before an exam.
Cram 本身就是有塞满、挤进去这个意思，所以在学习上呢，指的就是为了考试啊来死记硬背，就是填鸭。所以这个 cram session 就指的是考试前使劲背诵的那段时间吧。
That's right. So, as a student, I was a procrastinator, which is someone who keeps delaying things that must be done. So I often had cram sessions the night before an exam. But this article says that you should avoid them as much as possible.
But that sounds very familiar. 大多数同学肯定都经历过，就是因为拖延，然后考试前就临时抱佛脚嘛。那这里的拖延症患者呢，就可以说 procrastinator.
Right. Well, it can increase feelings of anxiety, frustration, fatigue, and even confusion.You know, like the body, the brain needs time to breathe, relax, and refocus.
就是说呢，不要给自己的大脑太大的压力，也就是说不要经常的来 cram. But, you know, many of us procrastinate, so we are used to it.
Yeah, but it leaves you tired for the exam. And it's hard to use your loaf when you are tired.
Loaf? I know a loaf of bread. 我们常说一块面包，用到就是这个 loaf.But to use your loaf?
Yeah, we use the phrase use your loaf to mean think carefully about what you're doing.
所以这里的 loaf 指的是大脑，脑子。要用到自己脑子来思考，就可以说 use your loaf.
Right. Well, we could also say use your head to mean the same thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so no cramming. 大家想要学习有效率，就不要拖延，不要临时抱佛脚。All right, what else does this article say?Well,
this sounds simple, but you know the idiom practice makes perfect?
Yeah, 熟能生巧嘛。
Well, they say a surefire way to learn more efficiently is to keep learning.
就是说，持续学习一定是种高效学习的方法。这里的一定啊，其实用到的是一个形容词 surefire， 一定会火，所以它其实指的就是说一定会发生的。Okay, but about this saying, that's kind of stupid. Of course, if we continue learning, we will learn more.
Yeah, but I think what they mean is to be consistent in learning. It's better to learn a little every day rather than study a long time, say once a week.
确实啊，我觉得比如举个例子吧，就像大家学英语，每天学一点，就算只学一个词啊，都比你一天学100个，但是一共就只学一天，其实会更有效。
Yeah.If you're learning a new language, it's important to keep practicing the language in order to maintain the gains you have achieved. It's a use it or lose it idea.
I like this one. Use it or lose it. 就是用进废退，对不对？
Right. Okay, another one of the best ways to learn is to focus on learning in more than one way.
Oh, yeah, I do this. Read something, write it, listen to it, and also speak it. 就是用多种方法来学习。
Right. And also use different forms of learning materials. Don't just use a textbook. Listen to podcasts, watch videos. Tell your friends about something you've learned.
Oh, yeah, and also teaching someone something is also a great way to learn.
Right. So in languages, it's one thing to know the meaning of a word, but it's completely different to know how to use the word. And if you teach it, you have to be able to explain.
对，所以这里也是给大家一个学英语的小窍门啊。如果你想真正记住一个单词呢，你可以试着把这个单词教给你的朋友。如果你能教会他们，那你自己肯定就会用这个单词了。
Yep. And another great way to become a more efficient learner is to use relational learning, which involves relating new materials to things you have already known.
The key word here is relate. 关键词是 relate， 意思是联系。Relational learning 就是关联法学习，对吧？就是说大家在学新知识的时候啊，要把它和你已知的知识结合起来。
Yes, and this kind of learning makes recall much easier.
But I think getting practical experience is also very important.
Yeah, the article mentioned this. While seeing information and then writing it down is important, actually putting new knowledge and skills into practice can be one of the best ways to improve learning.
学习很重要，但实践啊更重要。就像学英语一样啊，大家开口来练习实践啊，真的是很有必要的。
Now, I've always tried to stress this to my students. When they're learning English, but many feel too shy to speak, especially with foreigners.
That's true. And it's a hard thing to change.
Yes, but they can change who they practice with. All practice is good. You don't need to practice only with foreigners or Chinese teachers. You can practice with classmates.
Right. 和谁都能够练习起来啊，其实开口说就好了，对吧？ But they're afraid of making mistakes.
Yeah, I know. But practice is the place to make mistakes. People shouldn't be worried about mistakes. When you make mistakes, you learn from them. And then when you need to do something for real, you are less likely to make the mistakes.
感谢Colin老师的鼓励。没错，大家平常学英语啊，一定不要害怕犯错啊，有错误证明才能进步嘛。Okay, so what other things did this article say?
Well, one that I didn't know before, and I haven't done often, it said to look up answers rather than struggle to remember them. One study found that the longer you spend trying to remember an answer, the more likely you will be to forget the answer again in the future.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I always thought it was better to try and remember, but apparently I was wrong.
这就是说呢，自己花时间去找答案啊，比记住一个答案呢，其实学习效率会更高，你也更难忘记。Okay, so anything else you found that you were doing wrong?
Well, it mentioned that you should not multitask while you are learning something.
Really? Multitask. 首先讲这个单词啊，它是由两个部分组成的。Multi 是多的 ，task 是任务，所以这个 multitask 就是多任务，就是同时做多件事情。
Yeah, right. Multitasking is doing several things at the same time, or switching from one task to another often.
但可能就是说，你如果同时做的话，其实你的专注力就下降了，反而做不了那么好了。Like if you're trying to learn something, just do that.
Yeah, right. So don't do your cooking and have a TV show on while you are learning. It breaks your focus and concentration and makes your learning less effective.
I see. 我感觉我今天收获也很大，就跟着Colin老师学习到了呢，怎么更高效的学习，做终生的学习者。
Well, I think we can all pay attention to these ideas in the future.
Yeah, sure. 希望大家能把今天学到这些呢都应用起来，实践起来。然后欢迎大家把你们的想法也在评论区留言告诉我们。
Hello, welcome to Morning English. 早安英文呢是一个为大家免费提供英语教学的频道，每天都会更新。如果你想获得关于英语听说读写的内容，我们都会在这个频道更新。我们的目标是帮助全球的华人学好英语。如果你觉得还不错的话，记得给我们订阅哦。另外，点开小铃铛，这样的话就不会错过其他任何学习视频啦。对了，如果你想获取本节课的完整版笔记，在视频简介或者评论区领取哦。你也可以给这个视频点赞，点赞就相当于自动保存啦。
So thank you all for listening. This is Colin.
This is Summer. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.